Okay, so like I said, we're going to be talking about area this week. So we're going to be working on solving the area of this little rectangle we have right here. So yesterday in my video, I said we aren't going to call these squares. Does anyone remember what I said what we were going to call those? It's a new term to y'all, so it's okay if y'all don't remember. That's okay. So when we talk about the squares, friends, just one, like I'm going to fill in one square right here. We're going to call those a square unit. Oh, Shaylee, I just saw your hand, kiddo. I'm so sorry. I'll get you the next one, okay? So yeah, we're going to call one of those squares a square unit and just saying it's our squares or whatever we want to call it, okay? So we need to make sure that that's what we start referring to that as, all right? Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is we want to find the dimensions. So dimensions, friends, is whenever we're talking about the length of each side of this, okay? So I'm going to make this right here to show the length of each side. So what I want you guys to go on and do is I want y'all to draw this rectangle out. Okay, so y'all can solve this along with me, okay? I'm going to erase that. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a minute to get that rectangle copy down, and then we're going to talk about the dimensions and then how we'll solve this one, okay? So right now what we're doing is we're copying down this rectangle right here, and then we're going to work on solving it together. Okay, and then once you have that rectangle, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready to go. Shouldn't take you too long. Awesome, Ariana's ready. Jaylee, I think, has a thumbs up and is ready. Austin's ready. Okay, about 30 more seconds, friends, then we're going to move on so we can go work on solving this. Okay, looks like most of my people are ready. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to talk about the dimensions. Now, when I'm talking about dimensions, I'm talking about how many square units are on those sides. So you only want to do the side going down and the side going across. We don't want to do it for the whole thing because then we're talking about perimeter, and we're not talking about perimeter right now. Okay, so we're just going to focus on talking about our dimensions. So counting down right here on this side, we go 1, 2. So I know this side is going to be 2. And then I want y'all to count how many are going along this top one. I want someone to tell me how many go across on that top one. Shaylee, how many go across the top one?
9.
9. Okay, let's count. Let's see if she got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might have been a little bit off with your drawing, kiddo. Gotta be very careful with that and double check, but it's 8 across, okay? So you're very close. Okay. Boston, did you have a question?
The number.
Say it one more time, bud.
The number was 8.
Number was 8. Yes, sir. Thank you. Ooh, there we go. Okay. We got Aston coming back in. Okay. So my marker's getting a little sad. My little purple marker. So we'll go back to this one. Yeah, right here we have a 2, and up here we have an 8. So I know we're counting this one twice. This one right here, but that's okay because we gotta count everything that goes across and then everything that goes down. Okay, so yes, you're going to be counting one of those technically twice, but it's okay. So whenever we write out our dimensions, we're going to write 2 by 8. So whenever I say that x, I'm saying it's by. So 2 by 8. Okay, and that's starting to look like a multiplication problem, which y'all will be seeing a lot of that whenever you get into 3rd grade. Okay, so make sure you have 2 by 8 written down. Okay. And then give me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on. Boston's ready. Shayla's ready. Bianca's ready. Ariana's ready. Aston's ready. Okay, it looks like everyone's ready. Okay. Fabulous. Okay, I need to erase a little bit just so I can show you guys how I would solve it. You can solve it really however you want. Totally up to you. You can go as simple as just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those to get the area. But I'm going to show you another way that you can do it just so you can do it a little bit quicker, okay? Hold on, friends, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. So we have all these columns right here going down. So we have 2 in each column. So right here I'm going to put 2, and that's going to represent these 2 blocks right here, okay? Then I'm going to go above the next one and do 2, and then 2, 2, all the way across, okay? And so now I'm going to make my number sense because I know for each column there's 2 of these. So instead of just counting them one at a time, I can start counting by 2s. So I need to write my number sentence, which I'm going to put it underneath here, okay? So we got 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 2 plus 2 plus 2. And that's a very long number sentence, but it's going to be better than if we were just counting one by one. Okay? So that's one number sentence we could do. Can someone think of another way we can make another number sentence to figure out our answer here? What if I wanted to count my columns this way? How could I make that into a number sentence? So remember, each of these, if we're looking at it this way, had 8. How can I make that an equation? No one not sure? Well, what if instead of having to do all these 2's, I could just put, look, I only have 2 8's right here. I could just go 8 plus 8. It's an even smaller equation I could have written out. So you can even write it like that too, friends. So now I want someone to tell me what's our answer for the area. You can solve it either by counting them all by themselves, or you can make one of these number sentences to figure it out. Boston, do you think you got an answer?
16.
16. Does anyone agree with Boston? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with Boston. Have a few who agree. Fabulous. Yes. Yep, Mr. Boston got it. It is 16. So I'm going to go on and write that right here, since that's our answer. So that's the area of that whole block, and that's what you'll be doing today with your practice. I think y'all will do great with this. It's not like it's something that's completely unseen. Whenever I think about things we've done in the past, like thinking back to like the double array papers we used to do, kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Okay, so give me a thumbs up when you have all this down so we can go on and move on to reading. Shaylee's ready. Ariana's ready. Bianca's ready. Aston, you ready? Boston, are you ready, bud? Okay, good deal. All right, I'm gonna go on and erase this so we can move on to reading. Okay, I'm gonna put my blinds on this side just so I have a little bit more light coming in so y'all can see the book. Okay. I don't know if that'll help a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about theme today, okay? And that kind of builds on what we talked about last week with our big topic, because our big topic helps us kind of focus on what our theme could be. Now, a book can have more than one theme, that's okay, and as long as you can prove that that's the lesson or the message in the story, like what the character learned, then that's okay. So you might have a different theme from what someone else finds in the book, and that's totally fine. But usually they'll end up being pretty similar, just kind of based off what's going on in the book and what it's about. So remember, theme means lesson of the story. And the question you're going to want to always ask yourself is, what did my character learn? Okay, because we all learn lessons every day, and I think we've talked about that quite a bit, even just in our everyday lives at school, especially kids. Okay, so I'm going to reread this really, really short book that we've read before because I think it'll be a great example. Okay, so I want you guys just to listen. I want you to kind of think, what are some big topics in this book? Now, we're not going to say the big topic is swimming or the beach just because that's where they're at, because that's not really our big topic, okay? That's not what the big topic is. Our big topic's going to be a little bit bigger than that. So think about what you notice about our characters, how they're acting, what they're doing. Okay, focus more on what the characters say and do in this book, because that'll help you figure out some of our big topics here, okay? All right, now y'all are going to see me move the book back and forth so I can show the other camera too. Okay, so, not me. I like the beach, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. I like the sun, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. It is hot, said Bear. I will dive in. Not me, said Chipmunk. I like to swim, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. Does it look like, whoop, Chipmunk's having a very good time? I don't think he's having a very fun time at the beach. I am not a beach person, said Chipmunk. He's had him right there in the sand. Now I will play ball, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. I see a cute little fish, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. Or I saw a cute little fish, said Bear. There we go. Not me, said Chipmunk. I hope we see a big fish, said Bear. Not me, said Chipmunk. That's more than a big fish. That'd be terrifying. Why did you come, said Bear. I came to be with you, said Chipmunk. You are a good friend, said Bear. That's me, said Chipmunk. Okay, and that's it with that one. Okay, so have any of you ever done something that you didn't really want to do, but you did it because you wanted to spend time with that person? You ever done that before? Done something like you maybe played a game with your friend that maybe you didn't really like to play, but you still wanted to hang out with your friends, so you did it anyways? Some of y'all, Bianca, you have? Yeah. See, I think we've all done things just so we can hang out with the person for, and that's kind of what Chipmunk was doing for Bear here, but throughout the book you wouldn't really notice that, just because it just seemed like Chipmunk was complaining the whole time. So what kind of attitude did Chipmunk really have? Like, what would we say Chipmunk's personality is? What kind of person was he, or Chipmunk was he? Shaylee Beal?
Like someone that doesn't have much like doing stuff, like a lazy person.
Okay, he might be lazy. That might be why he didn't want to go to the beach. Absolutely. Bianca?
Maybe a picky person, like he's always kind of picky sometimes.
Okay, so maybe he's picky about what he likes to do. Absolutely. Okay, so with this book, some big topics in it. Okay, so we're talking about these two characters right here. Oop, if I can, kind of hard to look back on my screen there. So with these two characters here, would you say that they were friends? Shake your head yes or no. If you think yes or no, they were friends. Shake your head no if you don't think they were. Some of y'all think they were friends. Shirley, you think kinda? Yeah, so one thing I would say, because it's really talking about these two friends hanging out, I would say one of our big topics in this book is friendship. So right here at the top, I'm just going to write my big topics. And for one of them, I'm going to put friendship. Just because we're watching these two friends together throughout this book and what happens with them. So that's the first thing I'm going to have written down, okay? Okay. Now, one that I don't know what that would stick out to you guys quite as much. Has anyone ever heard of the word sacrifice before? Aston, do you know what, how would you say what sacrifice is? What would you say that means?
Something that you don't want to do.
Okay, so that's a good guess. You're on the right track. Not quite, though. Anyone else have any guesses as to what sacrifice means? Bianca?
It's like something you don't really want to do, but you do it just to, to like do it for a friend or something.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically you giving something up, possibly for maybe someone else or for a bigger cause. Okay, so another big topic in this book, I'm going to put a comma here. I'm sorry, you'll probably hear my puppy drinking water. I'm going to put the word sacrifice, because that was another big one. So the word sacrifice means, that can be our new word of the day, okay? So with sacrifice, it means you're essentially giving something up, maybe for a friend, or maybe for a bigger cause. So giving something up. Okay, so give me a thumbs up when you got those two written down, you're ready. Okay, Bianca's ready. Aston's ready. Ariana's ready. Alright, friends, I'm going to leave that up there. So if you need to come back and finish copying that, you can. Okay, so now we're going to focus on what our response would be. So I also provided sentence stems for this one too, so please use them because they help you guys organize your thoughts so much better whenever we go into actually creating them. I'm going to switch to my better marker for this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first part of my sentence stem, and I want you guys to get that down too. So I think the lesson learned could be, okay, so I want y'all to get that part down first, and we're going to talk about it. So I think the lesson learned could be. Give me a thumbs up once you got that. So I want to talk about this next part. Awesome. Bianca's ready. Ariana's ready. Boston's ready. Shaylee's ready. Aston, you ready? Okay, fabulous. Okay, so before I go on and we move on to that next part of filling that in, I want to talk, what lesson do y'all think that Chipmunk and Bear learned? Does anyone have any guesses as to what they think that they maybe learned? Think back to the very end of the book when Bear was like, why did you even come? And then Chipmunk was like, I'm here to be with you. Does anyone have any guesses on what they think he could have learned? I feel like we're all feeling a little shy today. It's okay. It's a tough concept. Bianca, you wanted to give it a try?
I think Bear learned that maybe he could try something for the chipmunk, like the chipmunk tried to. So he didn't like the beach, but he still went to go hang out with Bear. I think Bear should do something for Chipmunk like that.
Okay, so you think maybe he needs to make a sacrifice for his friend? Okay, so maybe he needs to make the same sacrifice back. Does anyone else have anything they would want to add? Anyone else think another lesson may be learned? No, it's okay. This was a pretty tough concept, so it's okay. But Bianca's on the right track with that. Okay, so I would say for wording that, because I like what she said about all that. That really fits with this story. So we're going to say sometimes. Ooh, if I can get my marker to work. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for your friends. Okay? So that's how we probably word that one. So y'all go on and get that added. And then next thing we need to do is give our proof. Yeah, thumbs up once you got it. Shaylee's ready. Bianca's ready. Ariana's ready. Dawson's ready. Aston, do you already got it, bud? Or almost got it? See, so we're gonna give you about another minute, bud. Then we gotta move on. Awesome. Okay. So now we got to prove that we know that's the theme. So how do we know that that's true in this story? Okay. So I'm going to start off our next sentence stem for you guys to get copied down. So you're going to say, I know this because okay, so y'all get that part copied down? And then we're going to talk about how do we know it's true. Okay, fabulous. I got some friends who are ready. Awesome. Okay, I think everyone's ready. Okay, so now we need to talk about how do we know? So how do we know that in the story they want you to learn that sometimes you have to make sacrifices in your friends? Someone tell me what happened in the story to make that true. I know Bianca's participated. So what happened there? Shaylee, Bill, do you remember what happened in the story to make that true?
The sacrifice.
So what sacrifice was made?
Bear loved the beach, but Chipmunk at the end said, Bear at the end asked, why did you come? And he said, because I wanted to be with you. He sacrificed because he wanted to be with his friend, even though he didn't like the beach.
Fabulous. That was an awesome response, kids. So yeah, that's essentially what happened. So kind of going off what Shaylee said there, we can say, okay, so because Chipmunk did not enjoy the beach, but he went to be with his friend Bear anyways. Okay, so I know this because Chipmunk did not enjoy the beach, but he went to be with his friend Bear anyways. Okay? So that's our proof. So that, friends, is how we are going to go about with our theme today. Make sure with your books today that you pick a fiction book, okay? Not an informational book, but a fiction book for this, okay? Okay, and then once you get this copy down, friends, y'all are good to go. If you're ready, then I will see some of y'all at 12. Okay? Oh, and Stash says hello because she's being silly right now. And she's biting me. That's nice. Oh my goodness.